Hello there, it's Amy, and today I want to show you how to draft a set-in sleeve from a block. Here we have a block that's been drafted, and we haven't drafted the sleeve yet. So just very quickly, I'm going to show you how to do a one-piece set-in sleeve. The first thing we want to do is we're going to copy out these curves. So I'm going to take the curve, I'm going to copy object, and I'm going to take a copy of these armhole curves, just like that. Okay, so now we got the front and back sleeve curves, and we're going to make a note of the full length of the sleeve, the armhole. It is 14.5. That is the length of this arm's-eye curve. Okay, we're going to use that in our later drafting. Then what we're going to take is the bicep. The bicep measurement, and this is a child block, so the bicep measured is 10 inches, and I'm going to add 2 inches of ease to this and make it 12. So I've made a line that's 12 inches, and I'm going to find the center. Now we're going to estimate the sleeve cap height. You may find a chart where the sleeve cap height is given, or you may want to measure and the difference between the overarm sleeve length and the underarm sleeve length is also the sleeve cap height. But if you don't know the sleeve cap height, here is a way that you can determine that without having those exact measurements. If it's a child, you want to estimate at 5 inches, and if it's an adult, I would start at about 7 inches, and then we're going to get more exact from there, and I'll show you exactly how you can get very close to determine the proper sleeve cap height. Now what we are going to do is take these measurements, remember that was 14.5, and we are going to divide that in half, which gives us 7.25, and add 1/4 inch for ease. So we are left with 7.25, 7.5 inches. And that is going to be one side of our sleeve cap. So I'm going to draw a line at 7.5. Okay, and the way that we determine the final height for the sleeve cap, we're going to move this up at a straight line. I can move that up by a specific amount if I want to. And then we can also rotate this around. So you can rotate this straight line that we've drawn until it matches up the tip of that bicep line we've drawn. And it gets really, really close, and it may not be exact, but you want to get as close as you possibly can. You can also, on this system, you can rotate at an angle, or I can rotate by unit and hit both ends of it. That's what I was looking for. And say I want to go 0.02 counterclockwise to make the line go down, and hit apply, and then I got a little even closer still. So just get as close as you can at that point. And then I'm going to find that top line and measure it so I can see, okay, I have 4.5 inches. That's my cap height based on this right now. So go ahead and draw your other line. That's at 7.5. They're both at 7.5. And then we can take the curve that we copied from the front and put that in there, and curve that we copied from the back. And I just use this at the bicep line, and you can go ahead and complete these by doing something like that. There are also formulas you can use, or you divide up the line evenly, and they have maybe a half an inch here and 5/8 of an inch there. I'm just going to show you very simply how you can do this. Draft this sleeve cap using those curves, and you can always touch these up later however you want to. It's going to depend kind of on your software what kind of curves you're able to make, or if you're doing this by hand, it's a lot easier to get a smooth curve. I'm trimming these lines back to intersect. Okay, I'm going to use a trim function here and trim that back to there. Okay, so you can see now another way that you can do this, you can take these lines and divide them up, locate points, and say I want to locate multiple points. I want to locate 3. So I'm dividing it up into 4 sections. Okay, and here you're going to have a certain value for the front of the sleeve that you want to go under, and here a certain value that you want to go up, and here a certain value you want to go up. Now I don't have these numbers for children's sleeves, so but they're basically based on the French curve. They could be for the adult sleeve, on the front of the sleeve, here you would go down a ½ inch. So what I mean by down a ½ inch is that you go this way, and that's the ½ inch line. Okay, and then up here you might want to go up 3/16 of an inch, and here you may want to go up 3/4 inch. Okay, now again, those are values that are used for adult sleeves. Okay, and really it depends on the shape that you're looking for, and how much ease you will end up having in your sleeve cap. But basically, to determine this height, you can use this quickie method. The formula again is taking the full arm side length, divide it by 2, and add 1/4 inch. And that is going to be your straight line. And then you have your bicep line that you can move up on the axis and rotate this straight line down until they meet. And that will get you pretty close to what you're looking for. And then you can just delete these lines once you're happy with the curves as you have them. I'm going to use a move point. And this is more of a computer-friendly way of doing it. It doesn't involve a lot of folding up of your paper. Okay, and so then the bottom line of this sleeve is, say this sleeve is 20, let's say it's 20.5 inches long. So we are going to subtract that 4.5 inches that we have in the cap here and add another 16. Now for the wrist, we want that to be, the wrist is 6 inches. Okay, and so we're going to add 1 inch of ease. So that makes 7 inches we want for the wrist. We're going to divide that in half and go 3.5 inches on each side. So we have 7 inches there. And we'll just connect these up. Okay, that's for the full sleeve without an elbow dart, just a regular straight sleeve. So let's compare this to to the arm side. All right, we have the front. Let's measure it out. Okay, here's the front, 8.192. Let's measure the front here. And we have 7.753. So we have some ease there. Now we're doing the back, 7.986. And the back we have 6.769. Okay, so what we would do, and we haven't determined the balance point yet, but what we want to do is distribute that ease evenly between the front and the back. So in order to do that, we have 6.769. We would measure up through here and make a mark. At that 6.769, we'd make a mark there. And then for the front, you know, we would take this measurement here, 7.753, and we'd go up through on this side on the front and make a mark. Then the difference between those two marks, we would split it, and that would be your balance point in the center of the sleeve. I'm not going to do that right now because it does take a little bit of time to try to make those. We got these separate lines that have to be subtracted out, and it's a little bit of a pain to do that on this program that I'm using, but just so you understand, that is how you would determine that center point. It's not going to be right here in the center where it is right now. What I want to do is to measure the entire sleeve cap. I'm going to deselect this bicep line here, and it's 16.178. Okay, 16.178, and compare that against 14 and a half. 16.178 minus 14 and a half gives you 1.678 in ease. That is probably more ease than I would want in the sleeve cap. So, you know, at that point we would want to just take a look at those straight lines, maybe put these straight lines back in. And see what we might want to change there. So I can take some ease out of this and to flatten out this. How about I flatten this out a little bit more? And let's see if that does a better job. Let's just compare the back. Of course, that's a little bit too flat there, isn't it? I'm going to pull this out a little bit more. And now what I have is 15.9. So I actually now have just 1.4 inches of ease. I'm coming in just under 1.5 inches. So that's right where I want it. You can adjust these to however you want. If you don't want so much ease in your sleeve cap, when you do that straight line, remember the formula for this straight line here was the total armhole divided by 2 plus 1/4 inch. Maybe you want to only add an 1/8 inch. Maybe you don't want to add any. Play with it and see where it gets you if you do not want any sleeve cap ease. But I would say if you do eliminate the sleeve cap ease, you would want to make this bicep line bigger because you still need to be able to move your arm. So that is how to create a block sleeve from when you have the block front and back done. Just a quick way. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching.